congratulations on the film, Mr. Andy. I was telling Andrew and Claire that it's an affecting, against all odds story that tells everyone can truly live.
Absolutely. That's
Right.
what we wanted to do with the movie. That we were never intending to make a sad, kind of mawkish story of disability. It was these people chose to live life to the full. You
Right.
know, always 2 minutes away from death, which made it very intense, but with great humour and having fun on the way. And that was very reminiscent of, you know, when you talk to the real Diana and Jonathan, of course, who's the producer on the movie. That's their memory of growing up with that. That it was for the most part great fun.
Right.
You know.
You burst into the fantastic pop culture with your fantastic performances in sci-fi films like Lord of the Rings, right? And the Planet of the Apes trilogy, which, by the way, you are truly amazing. But what made you choose a very un-sci-fi film with Breathe?
Well, Jonathan and I have a company called the Imaginarium, which is our performance capture studio, and we have all sorts of projects on our slate. But I happened to read one night, I mean, I knew he'd been planning to make this film, but I read the script one night and just, you know, couldn't stop crying. And Bill Nicholson's writing is just so phenomenal in this story. And I just went into, you know, I came into and cornered him and sat him down at lunchtime. I said, Jonathan, I know I've mostly directed elves and orcs and animals of the jungle, but how do you feel about me directing a film about your parents?
Wow.
And he went, you know, absolutely. Because, you know, what really I loved about this story was actually about them being pioneers, about, you know, being the first people to live outside of the hospital system and creating a new way of living and you know, always, as I say, 2 minutes away from death, but doing it with such grace and humour.
What were the challenges in being a first-time film director? What did you face?
We had to shoot very quickly on this, and because I'd directed the second unit on The Hobbit, and I'd already shot Jungle Book, and we were in post-production on that. But what I wasn't prepared for was the amount and how we had to get through in 7 weeks of shooting.
Wow, yeah.
You know, because it was an independent movie. Obviously, the budget is very streamlined, and with that comes great creativity. And fortunately, we had the most phenomenal DOP, Bob Richardson, who is a genius. Yeah. And you know, having worked with the greats, Tarantino and Scorsese, and then just he fell in love with his script and was so moved by it that he decided to come over to England and make it with us. And we had this most incredible relationship and collaboration. And
it's a work of love.
It really was, and everyone who worked on the movie did so because they felt they loved the script. But yeah, that was the pressure, was shooting it in such a short period of time.
Would you do it again?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I love directing as much as acting, and so I fully, you know, this is very much the beginning of hopefully a career for me.
Right, and you know, we've all heard that, you know, it's hard to direct kids and animals all at the same time. Look at you, you're a glutton for punishment. Yeah. Going back to the film, would you do what the characters did if faced with the same situation?
I would hope I would. I mean, I take huge inspiration from what Robin and Diana did in their life, because they didn't stop and go. I mean, he went through a period of depression, but once she said, okay, how can I make life better from you? Get me out of here. He chooses life. I would hope that I would have that approach. I believe I would. I think I'm an optimist, and I believe that, you know, you can choose to live life, you know, glass half full or glass half empty.
Exactly. There you go. We'll live life to the fullest,
Come on.
Mr. Andy. Thank you so much.
Thanks.